Miami Popo. I forgot to ask if they put a one in the chat too. Thank you, Miami Popo. Hey, lovely love. Okay, truly yours. How are you? SLTV, Snazzy Girl, Chrissy Love. And I think I spoke to everyone else as you came in. And thank you for being here with me. Carmel Bunny, M. Renee, of course. I I was walking the dogs in their early morning walk, and then I came back in, and these oxtails that I put on in the crock pot opened up my senses and aw- awoke in my brain. So I was like, oh. Well, people have been asking about the rules of my Wreath contest. So, are you guys off for work today? It's a holiday. I don't know if many people have Columbus Day off. I'm pretty sure that, hey, Nurse Shay, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people may not even celebrate Columbus Day. So there's that. Okay, so I had quite a few people asking me, what are the rules for your wreath contest? What are the rules? What are the rules? So I do have some rules. We showed no. I heard that because how you going to discover something that already was inhabited? Lovely love, I like your hair on that picture. I ain't lying to you. I ain't lying to you, girl. And they got the whole house just lit up. Oh, it smells so good. Anyway, okay. So now, okay. So yesterday, uh, okay, I'm gonna do the beef sector stuff after this real shortly because there's a few things I want to talk about on the beef sector. So I'm having a Christmas wreath competition. Okay, it's my day off. I don't celebrate that shit. Well, at least you got a day off to take care of yourself. Hey, we're not gonna turn down no day off, but we should not celebrate no BS. So I'm doing the Christmas wreath contest. I'm not gonna call it a challenge because I'm sick of challenges. I'm so sick of challenges. I'm sick of so I'm having a Christmas wreath decoration contest. So this is new. Ooh, new. I brought something new to the beef sector. So what it consists of is that we're going to get together on Sunday, November 12th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which would be 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. In the Midwest. So we're going to get together. Hey, Face, how you doing? Glad to see you. Oh, I see your notifications working, girl. I'm just kidding. So we're having a Christmas wreath decoration contest, and some people wanted to know the rules. And here are the rules for the Christmas wreath. Okay, so hey Lena, how you doing? Let me get if you make a wreath that looks like this, I will not disqualify you. Well, I will disqualify you, but I will just send you over to Lady Nika's ugly Christmas sweater contest, and you may actually win there. So in the Christmas wreath competition, okay, your wreath has to be at least 10 inches round, the outer circumference, not the inner diameter, the outer diameter. Okay, I would like for your greenery to be sparse like this, and you definitely, or you can have greenery like this. They sell these at Michael. This is as thick as the pre-green greenery on the reef that is acceptable. No pre-lit, no reef that are already like this. So it has to be a sparse greenery, or you can use just a reef frame, a metal reef frame. You can use this type of reef. You can use this type of reef form, but this is a no-no. And you can also use just the metal reef without that brown cork stuff in there. That's for live flowers, unless you're doing live flowers. So that is what we're doing for the Reef Challenge. And now a lot of people have asked me if they make those. Okay, let me share my page with you. Okay, and you can come back to this if you need to know any things about the Christmas wreaths. Here we go. Deco mesh. If you're using deco mesh to make your wreath, you can you can cut and roll your deco mesh first, and then you can come and have it already rolled because that's very time consuming. So you can pre-roll your deco mesh, and then come to the challenge. Oh, wait a minute. Let me remove my banner and you'll see what I'm presenting to you. Oh, God, I'm so dingy. It's early. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me get to this. Okay. So if you're doing deco mesh, you can pre-roll all your little rolls of mesh and set them to the side. I would like for you to just demonstrate rolling one on the actual competition, and then you'll have them ready, and then you'll be ready to apply them to your wreath. So that's something that you can do to get ready ahead of time. And if you have any decorations that you're putting on your wreath that is time consuming, I would like you to like rolling and cutting deco mesh. You can please do that off screen, but just give it us an example of how you did it on one piece of mesh. So here's another one um, I want to share with you guys. Here we go. Okay, so if you have greenery like this, you can buy and cut all your greenery off. You see how she's cutting it off. You can pre-cut all your little stems off and everything, and just have the piles of greenery that you're using. And we'll see them, and you'll save time during the competition, so the competition won't be extra long for because we don't know who's doing what. So I would suggest that if you're going to cut something off, have it all cut off prior to the competition, and it would make it go smoothly and you'll be less rushed. Okay, so let me show you one more thing. Okay, here we go. Here we go, right here. Okay, let me share my screen, and I'm gonna make this large. Okay, so there's a few things that I want to help you out on here. Okay, so okay, commercial, no commercial, just a second. So here is a wire reef form that you can use, and okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so like repetitive things like this, like she's cutting all of these. This mesh is going to be her reef filler. So this is the type of stuff that you can do off camera. Okay, this is the all metal reef, and what she did was she scrunched those together and she's putting them in between. So you could have all those scrunched together. You can put one of those tiny little rubber bands on them. They sell a big pack at the Dollar Tree instead of putting a clip on there. You can have all that already ready when you come in. We start the competition, because if you don't, I know from being creative that you might feel rushed. Okay, so that's one of the things that you can pre-do. Okay, you're going to get extra points for making your little ribbons and stuff. And if you're going to make repetitive ribbons the same length like she's doing here, you can also have those pre-cut. You see, she has a stack of all the different colors that she's using. So I would suggest you prep yourself that way to be ready for the competition if you know that you're doing something in repetitive things. And then all you have to do, oh, commercial. Sorry. I didn't realize it had so many commercials. Okay, so that way all you have to do is, take your stuff and add it to your reef. Okay, let's see what else. There's a couple of different reef techniques in here that I like to. And then you put your reef together and there you got it. So, okay, let's go to the next reef. Okay. Oh, making your bows. If you make your bow, you don't have to make your bow. You can buy a bow. Be creative as you like. So let's go to another example of what you can do. Okay. She has a wire reef, and let's see what she's going to do with that. So she has all this greenery that she's adding to the reef. So this is how you have your table prep. it shows you a way you can film yourself and not be on camera. Just position the camera where it's angled at this angle if you don't want to be on camera. I know some of you guys are hesitant to join the competition because you don't want to be on camera, but this is how you can angle your camera. I mean, yes, your camera. And also, you have your greenery ready. All you have to do is pick it up, add it to it, and it makes it so much more simple. And then you add your whatever little decorations you have, and then that's that. Okay, so here's another one. And guys, you can join too because there are simpler ways to make wreaths. This one, they're doing that. You can make whatever wreath you want to, but you cannot make any wreath that you see here. This is a retro wreath. They're just gluing. They wrapped it with some things, and they're gluing on their ornaments. And you can also, you know, if that's as creative as you can be, you can use whatever theme you choose to theme. This is called a retro theme. So if you want to do a My Little Mermaid theme, if you want to do a Barbie theme, you choose the theme, and your wreath is going to have to be true to the theme that you choose. Okay, so if you don't make a wreath, if your theme and your wreath don't jive well together, you're going to have to make it make sense. Okay, so here's another wreath form you can use. And same thing, you can use this and have your greenery cut, have your bowls cut, have your ribbon cut, and whatever you're going to add to the wreath. And then have your glue guns, plenty of glue sticks if you use glue sticks. And yeah, so real simple. They're not all complicated. So these are just some examples. Okay, now let's get to the next one. Okay. Okay, she made a bow, put some balls in it. There you go. You got a wreath. Oh, okay. Yeah, there is something else I want to show on this one. This one, she actually painted. She's doing painting. She painted these bells. They were all silver. If you're going to do something that you need to paint and the paint is going to need time to dry, you need to have that painted and have it dry prior to entering the competition because, we don't want to hold other people up just to wait on your paint to dry, and we don't want you to have to put a wet thing in there and ruin your greenery. So if you have to adjust paint colors, I suggest that you do it before the competition. And that was a very simple wreath, and it came out stunning. I think that a wreath. It came out nice. So here is the last one. Oh, I'm not going to do that one. I already told you about that one. Here's the last example that I have for you guys. Okay. Okay, say if you don't want to, I said that you can do untraditional types of things. I'm sorry, I gotta wait for this commercial. There are also door swags that you can do. You know how some people have a light post on each side of their door and they'll hang a door swag from the door. Okay, so you can also do a door swag. It doesn't have to, it can be any shape. Some reframes come in candy cane forms, snowman forms, any form that you choose. And if you decide to do a swag, this is a swag. They use two Dollar Tree Christmas trees, and then they put their swag together. And this is a swag. You're more than welcome to do a swag to hang from. You can hang them from the doorpost. You can hang them from the light posts outside of your house. These are also excellent things to do. And I would like for you to also have your stuff pre-cut, and you can make a swag. Let's see what a swag is. Okay, we're going to go to the end. Okay. So that is a swag. And you can hang it from your doorpost or whatever you want, the door or your light post. And those are nice as well. So these are the options that you have that I wanted to bring to you. I'm going to I'm going to ask that, like, if you have repetitive things to complete and to make that you're going to put on your wreath, that you already have as much of the bulk of it cut. It may be a couple of small pieces you need to cut and stick in a little hole or something, but just have your stuff laid out. You know how they do on cooking shows, if it's 2 cups of flour, a half a cup of sugar, a quarter cup of baking powder, they'll have them all in separate little bowls, all ready to go, and they just got to dump it in there. They ain't got to open the flour bag, pour it and measure it. Yeah, so if you can work on that, if you can work that way, if you're going to enter the competition, I think it would be more enjoyable for yourself, and I think it would be more enjoyable for our audience. We can skim over the things that you're using on your table, and we can give the contestants maybe an hour, maybe an hour and a half. We'll start with an hour to do their wreaths, and then we'll see if we need to give them 15 more minutes, 15 more minutes. And I would like for it to not go over 2 hours in the construction of the wreaths, period. So any questions you guys have about that? I had to get this video out. I know a lot of you may not even be interested in this. Hey, Miss Chesamit, I'm sorry, Miss Chesamit, how are you? I'm having a hard time pronouncing that name. Hey, Face. Oh, I saw you, Face. Okay, Soul Sister number 1. I used to love making them. Yeah, and so far our prize pot is up to $140. So at this point, while it's under $150, it's winner takes all. If I get enough donations for the prize pot, I'm going to start dropping down and having a second place and a third place winner. So if you would like to donate to the prize pot, you can cash at me at $ Ronnie Q and put prize pot in the note, and your donation will be added to the prize pot. The competition is Sunday, November 12th, 2023 at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that would be 2 p.m. in the Midwest. So I hope all you guys come out. It's Cheesy Boo. Oh, no. Okay, you were talking to somebody else. Okay, so I hope you guys all come out and participate. Oh, great. And I hope you guys come out and participate. So far, we have 9 contestants. We have our judges. The judges are going to we're going to vote on the wreath. We're going to let the audience vote. And then the judges, the 3 judges, will choose the first place winner after the chat votes. So they'll have the chat's input, and we're asking that you vote for your favorite wreath, not your favorite individual. So, and then the second and third place prizes will be, we're going to have a poll in the chat for the second and third place prizes, and those will be the winners. So I hope you guys come out and have some fun with us. We will have a drinking game as well. So that's what we're doing. So I'm going to drop the link. If anybody have any questions that I may not have answered, you're more than welcome to hit the link and come chit chat with me. So now let's talk about what's been going on the YouTube streets. Yesterday, there was a post by this woman. I'm not familiar with her. She went on the cruise and she said that she had some tea that she was going to spill. What was her name? Something vlogs. And I'm not really familiar with her. I forget her name. Good. I'm looking forward to it as well. So she said that she was gonna have some tea that she was gonna spill. What was her name, Yaya? I know your nosy self know. I can't remember her name. So there was a lady, she came out that she was gonna have a live setup, and it was MU. She was gonna spill the tea. Erica Kelly vlogs. Yes, thank you, Miami Popo. I knew you knew Fates. Oh, you guys already know the tea. But what tripped me out about it is that she had it set up and then she switched it over to membership. And I'm like, why would you? Okay, okay, I'm gonna not question her. I'm gonna say how I would have done things because no one knows you. Maybe some people know you. Maybe a lot of people don't know you, so I don't understand the point of having a big story and then putting it behind a paywall. And we don't know your record. We don't even know if we can trust what you're saying. Number one, because a lot of people don't know you. We don't know that if you're good on getting real tea. And now you want us to pay. You have no record in the beef sector that a lot of people are familiar with. So you just want us to pay. You have this tantalating title, but we don't know you from Adam. You know, you could be Big Man TV as far as we know with the scoop. So she put it behind a paywall. And then as the time came and went, it was still set up and waiting. And then she totally took the whole thing down. And I am just like, what in the world is going on with these people? I never heard of her either. So that's why I was like, and so you think we're gonna pay a month subscription to hear one service, one story? So I thought that that was strange. Only MU knew her. Okay. She was trying to get memberships. Yeah. Money grab. She was trying to get memberships. Like, yeah. Yeah, so I thought that that was strange, and I guess didn't enough people bite because, like, like excuse me. Anyway, like, child, you gotta have some stories, and you gotta people have to know who you are and what you're talking about. People just gotta go throw money at somebody, and they don't even know if they throwing money at a slow bus or something like that, or a pathological liar. Like, oh, give me a break. Tay, tell me my BFF said, okay. Hello, Stephanie Rhodes. Yeah, that was very strange. And then she totally took it down. So now there has been everybody may not know. The last I heard, I didn't go over there and check again recently that MU had taken all of her videos down, and then I heard that she took them all down, but one video. So let me check. Let me see. I can check right now. I forget. I have a computer. I'm on the computer. So she totally closed her page, all her videos off her page is what I was told. Oh no, I don't see her coming right up. She would usually come right up. Oh, there she is. Let me see if she's back. Look like she may be back. She has no live videos up. She has one video up, and that's all she has. Let me see if she has written anything on her community post. 10 hours ago, she made a community post. Galaxy's Sunday show is canceled tonight. Stay safe and talk soon. We do recover. Well, MU, it didn't. We do recover if we practice recovery, I guess. But it's my understanding that MU was drinking alcohol during her trip, and I wonder, did she has she realized that maybe you're gonna have to start that 1 year calendar all over again? You may need to reset your phone to count your sober days, MU, because um, I don't think you're sober anymore once you drink some alcohol, even if alcohol isn't your drug of choice, is I don't think you're sober anymore. Blue 212. She should have did some promo or preview so we could have seen what was coming. I definitely agree. Truly yours, hello. Thank you for being here. Truly yours, whatever. Oh, I did speak to you because that whatever at the end of your name reminds me of Flickr. Ness, you're acting a total fool or whatever. Pizarro, let me hit the link or whatever. Face, y'all, I can't stand you, face or whatever. So when I saw whatever, it reminded me of Flickr. So let me see what you guys are saying. You do artwork? Juicebox Tay? Maybe I'm just being too nosy. So there was that. So now then we have the whole, you know what, I'm kind of exhausted. I don't know why I thought this was the final swan song for Ness and Heidi. So they're back at it yet again, I like the melodrama is like so anticlimactic, pretty much like the first time that Ness went down on Haiti. It was anticlimactic. Too much of a boring thing makes me want to throw it in the river somewhere. So they're back with their back and forth and mad at each other, and they were panel hopping and panel. Yes, exactly. Alcohol is a mind altering substance. And of course, she's gonna, oh, that wasn't my drug. That wasn't my drug of choice. So that doesn't count because I can do alcohol. Yeah, no, you're not sober. You're not sober anymore. You have to start all over. And maybe she found out, and maybe that's why she deleted her page and, trying to figure out how she's gonna, double talk her way out of that. So MU is very good for double talk to one audience and then saying something totally different to the next audience, as we saw with her on Jay Wilson panel with Shelley, and then hopping over to Cruisers and saying the total opposite. Okay, so then we have this Heat and Flicker. They were on, I think, was it Pizarro's that they I think they hit Pizarro's first, and then I know they hit Shelly's, and then they went over to shit Trish and had a whole big knockdown drag out fight. Are you guys sick of them? Are you guys sick of the antics at this point? I mean, is this what the beef sector has come to, looking in and peeking about these fake fights and this all this melodrama and all this yelling and screaming about a relationship from a 30 something year old people? I mean, is this what society is coming to? People are not in control of their emotions, that they're on the World Wide Web yelling and screaming and lying and all this type of shit behind this relationship. Yes, I'm sick of them. I just heard Kelly did a short. I didn't see the short. You know what the short was about? I saw a short of her getting on the bus. She has several shorts. I saw one of her getting on the boat, but I didn't see anything in regards to MU, and that's what got people interested in, like, hey, what's going on over here? Okay, so it makes all I agree. It does make all of us look bad, and it's like it's really boring. And Sabrina Clark, good morning to you as well. And also, what is what is like mind-boggling is the fact. Okay, so I don't know what started this with Pizarro and Shish Trish, but I read Ball Pizarro's live and I heard her going off on Trish, but I wasn't sure what started it. And when I went over to Trisha's yesterday, I was in the bushes and I heard her say something like, "Oh, everybody's upset with me now, and everybody's coming for me," and I'm like, coming at you for what? They came at you to rescue you when you had no competitors in your competition. So now you're the victim of people talking about you. And when these people came and rescued you because they felt pity for you because nobody was in the competition. So I don't understand. Hey, Gummy Bama, nice to see you. So is that, and so Pizarro goes off on Trish, and Trish is like, oh, she says I owe her for my audience. But Trish, let's be real. The only reason you sat up there was, and no, and yelling and screaming, and I'm your co-host. But what, Trish? What happened to you demanding that you were her co-host? None of that happened, and she thinks she's responsible for my numbers. With Trish, didn't Pizarro stay live until your competition came on? Didn't Pizarro go live? Wasn't she your opening act? Like you think we don't see that's what happened? Pizarro was your opening act, and when she sent people, come on, let's go over to Trish's. So what are you, and you're complaining now? I don't understand this. She was watching MU through a window doing commentary and then forced the camera in her face. Oh, wow. Okay. And that whole Pizarro went off on me and gave me a 24 timeout in Pettyville. What? Wait a minute. Okay. Why she do that? Shish Trish was only was on 10 yesterday. I firmly believe that she come here acting because there's no MFing way a grown woman could act like that naturally. I mean, yeah, it's like really a clown show at this point. All that yelling and like I do not know anybody who acts like Shish Trish in the real world, and it's like it like grind your nerves and stuff, all that yelling and all that craziness and all that crazy talking. She can't believe half of the things she said. But so now Shish Trish is mean mobbing and she's bossing up talking about, oh, this is old beef sector. We're old beef sector. And uh Fish Babe and Heidi Fly and Nicole Tyler. These are OGs. They would have never did anything with you as well. Like Five Babe sang me a song. Five Babe care about my kid. You don't have a kid. You have a grown man. You have a grown adult. What kid? What kid do you have, Trish? Like, oh my God. Talking about old timers, talking about OGs. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Pink hands and smiles. Last video I see MU. She was at the airport and happy. What happened between that time and now? Well, between that time and now, someone came on and said that Miss Cruiser was wrong for throwing her camera up at MU's face, and MU has it was nervous and she was feeling a lot of anxiety, and Cruiser didn't make it any better. But then when we roll, Cruiser didn't have a camera. She was actually on a live, so there was no camera in her face. There may have been her phone where she walked over to MU, and who wants to get out of the car? And the first thing is in their face is a camera. Well, when Cruiser walked over to MU was out of the car. She had her luggage. She had her overnight bag stacked over her luggage handle. And when she saw Cruiser, she didn't look disgusted. She didn't look anxious. She looked happy. She did a little dance in place, and then she ran over and hugged Miss Cruiser. And then after she hugged Miss Cruiser, she struck several little poses for Cruiser. So then MU realized that yes, well, it is a bit much. And I have anxiety, and it is a bit much to get out of the car and the camera's in your face. Well, I don't know whose camera was in your face, but when Miss Cruiser approached you, you were already out of the car. And so MU went with that theory that was being put forth on Jay Wilson's channel. And then she went over to Cruisers and apologized and acknowledged that is in fact is not what happened. And then she went back over to Jay Wilson to let Jay Wilson know so MU was all over the place with this story, and none of it was true what she went with. So I don't know what's going on with MU, but I do know that narrative that they put out about Miss Cruiser doing something to MU did not happen, and MU had acknowledged as much. So then I don't know who this chick is who supposedly have some information on her, but I think on I know that Shelly said on Pizarro's channel something about somebody seeing her on the beach and then she disappeared. I don't know what was implied. I've heard several different stories and I have heard no confirmation. It was implied that she disappeared to indulge in some mind-altering substances, and then it was implied that she disappeared to have very Carrie, a sexually gratifying good time on the beach, and that's why Tracy lost contact with her. None of these stories have been verified, so I think that's why people were excited to see this Erica chick try to say that she actually has some tea. So there's that, and I think that's the only reason why she was excited to see her. So, oh, okay, you got it. Okay, well, I didn't hear her say. I only heard her say she disappeared on the beach. So I heard from other areas the reasons for her disappearing on the beach. Shelly didn't give a reason for her disappearing on the beach. So let's be clear, because I don't want her going cock shit crazy over something I did not say. So that's that. Anything else? What are y'all seeing on the YouTube feed? And so I haven't really seen that much. The whole clown show with Ness, and Ness was all drunk and cursing out these guys who were trying to treat her respectable. And it was like weird that Ness went into this dude on Shish Trish channel, and he was like a real laid back, and he didn't interrupt. He would just let them talk. And then when he finally got a chance to say a word, and then that's like, what? Who are you? Do I know you? I don't know you. Like talking to him like he's a peasant or something. And then he like, calmed it down. Well, and then Trish, oh, this is so and so. Then he's my mod, and he's my co-host, and da 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 da. So she goes in on another. Ness goes in on another talking tangent, and then she finally stops, and then the guy breaks in and says, well, I think that if we can, I think we can calm the situation down, because she was cursing at Heat and this, that, and the other. So Heat had gotten up there, and as soon as he started talking, Ness snapped at him, and he lost him. He said, "Bitch," and he said, "Oh, excuse me." He said, I didn't mean to say that. Now, he didn't say anything. He didn't say not one word. And the guy immediately apologizes. He kind of like caught the H out of running out of his mouth. And he said, I apologize. I don't talk to women like that, this, that, and the other. And then this Heat Ness goes on, and she's talking, and she's arguing with Heat and this, that, and the other. And then she goes, and how come you didn't say nothing when that dude called me a bitch? And then Flicker goes, well, he apologized as soon as he said it. And so then they go on, and they continue to argue and argue and argue and argue. And then Flicker turns around and calls Ness a bitch, and Ness was okay with Flicker calling you're okay with a man calling me a bitch, and you didn't even say nothing, you didn't even defend me, and then Flicker turned around and called her a bitch. I was like, oh, this is just I'm sick of this BS. I'm sick of these contrived arguments and all this. Oh, you want me, you want Pizarro, you want this one, you want that one. Hey, Jay Dunn, did you see that shit show on Ness's panel? I mean, on you probably don't watch shit, Trish, but it was a whole shit show, Jay Dunn. And so hey, the real K Fit, nice to see you, the real K Fit. So, yeah, it was like a whole shit show, and they were like tried to turn it like coming at this dude for apologizing. You know how you'll say something like you may make a mistake and curse around your kids, and you'd be like, oh, and try to take it. He really took it back as soon as he said it. So, but they tried to make a big deal of it, and then Flicker turned around and called Ness a bitch, and I was like, ain't this something? Isn't this something? Isn't this grand? And Ness didn't have no fight for Flicker calling her a big. I was like, well, she is the one who you're supposed to be in a relationship with. So I expect strange. Why did sad face spam? I I expect strangers to have, strange tendencies in the beef sector, but it was just all over the place yesterday. I'm exhausted. So I said all that to say this. We're going to be talking about some real world issues on my channel, because the bullshit is at an all-time high, and there's no need in covering all these fake stories that I put together. Hey, LSA boss, there's just no need in covering all this bullshit. I'm like tired. I'm exhausted. If it's something really real to talk about, all these stunt queens out here playing games and stuff, I'm just kind of tired of it. I mean, what I'm saying? So if anybody want to hit the link, um, is there something that I did miss? That may be real content that you saw. That's all I saw, and it goes on for hours and hours and hours at a time. So it's just eating up, like, just mind, ugh, just mind numbing nothingness is going on in the beef sector at this point. Okay, let me see what you say. Heidi and that story been fake. Glad that shit died down quick. No, they're trying to kick it back up. They're trying to kick that dumb stuff back up, and I'm really not going. So there's that, and Bree and Uppity are having their competition on October. They're doing a soul food cook-off competition on October 14th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. October 14th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on my channel. Okay. Yes, I was just about to say that Israel is being invaded. So you know what? You know what? Not for nothing. Can somebody explain to me why it's always this, why America sent Israel so much money, and Israel is so rich, and Israel can defend themselves against incoming missiles, and United States don't even have that capacity to protect itself on all its borders. So I and Israel is always encroaching on the little land that they gave the Palestinians to live on. They're always taking more and more and more of the land back for themselves. And at no point do any do America ever see any problems with that. At no point, I know that America's position is we're always behind Israel, but like, why is none of this stuff that Israel does questioned? Because, like, how many times are you going to let somebody come over and take over your whole neighborhoods? And, the thing that they always put on the Palestinian people is that they are terrorists. So then it makes you say, well, if you say anything in support of them, you're supporting terrorists. But, if somebody was, if Canada was coming down the border and killing people in New York State, and they were taking over more and more and more of the land in New York State, would the New York State people be the terrorists for striking back at Canada, for encroaching in, coming on their land and taking over part of their land? Can somebody? I'm serious, because I need somebody to help me understand this. Because these people have absolutely nothing, and Israel is so rich and stuff, and they are like the same people. Am I wrong? Let me read what you guys have to say in the chat. Because of the history U.S. have with Israel, right? The history has, yeah, long-standing history that the U.S. have had with Israel has always been the same. And somehow Benjamin Netanyahu, who got voted out of office, is right back in office, and he may as well be a dictator, in my opinion, because he has, even when he was out of office, he had a lot of political sway. He was, in my opinion, he was like the Oz behind the curtain about everything that went on in Israel. That's just my opinion. So, am I wrong? Exactly. Now, so the Republicans are putting out this story that Biden has released $6 billion to the Iranians, and they're putting out the story as if the Iranians, who are in support of the Palestinians, there's the Republicans, even the former president, is trying to imply that the Iranians is going to give this money over to the Palestinians to help them further terrorize Israel. This is the story that they're putting out. However, and they're saying they're putting it out as if it's U.S. dollars, as if it's yours and mine dollar. But the truth of the matter is, they're saying that they have already given Iran this money. They have not given Iran the money. The money is still on hold. Okay. Second of all, it's not U.S. money. It's the Iranians' own money from oil sales that they had confiscated. And the only reason they are giving them this money is for humanitarian purposes only, for to only buy medicine, only to buy things on the humanitarian front. So uh, the, they're putting this story out to make the American people think that the Republicans, some Republicans, are putting this story out to make you think that Joe Biden is supporting Iran and Palestine when Joe Biden came on TV saying that we stand behind Palestine. I mean, I'm sorry, Israel always, not Palestine, Israel. So it's just a mess. Okay, Spam. It seems like you. I see a whole lot of yellow faces. Maybe you giving me some information because it's apartheid. The rest won't admit it. I agree. That's what I agree. And yeah, yeah, like my mom used to always say that. My mom used to always say, "We're supposed to always stand behind Israel," and I'm like, "Well, we can't like look at Israel. Like, what if Israel do something like really bad and like it's just like a mindset that we must all. I don't understand it, So okay, he is. Let me see. Agreed. I don't know what you're saying. He is too, though. Okay. I ain't doing ish, but remembering my Sunday school lessons about the Jews. Okay. Let me see. Where's Trump? Trump was in Iowa giving this speech. The Iowa caucus is the first Republican caucus, and he was sounding like a Looney Tune, and that was some of the things that he was putting out. And even Fox News had to come out and say that no, Iran does not have this money. No, it does not come from U.S. It's not U.S. money. It's from their own oil sales. Remember, they had this. They put sanctions on Iran. Is some of the money that they had sanctioned away from Iran, but it was their own money. And so even Fox News had to come out and say that this story that the Republicans are feeding to their voters is not true. So let me see. I'm sorry. It hasn't released yet. It's scheduled to be exactly. Exactly. Trump was the one that was buddy with Netanyahu. I think that's who you're saying. And since Trump moved the embassy to Jerusalem, everything went south. Yeah. So that's a lot going on. And I think this is going to be quite bad. Hold on one second. Thank you. I'm sorry. I had to go get me some coffee. CCNTV, good morning. CCNTV, we're talking about that Israeli Palestinian thing. And I have some opinions and a few facts about it. I know throughout my history, it was taught through our Christian beliefs that we are to always support Israel, but when I look at the reasonings that are given behind further, going into Palestinian land and taking over their land, it makes me question like why must we always support them, and pretty soon it seems like they don't care about their rights. They're heavily watched through all types of technology and everything. And it's like they have electricity maybe 1 hour a day. And, and they're living next to Israel, this rich nation and stuff that have all these resort beaches and stuff. And you have all these people living like this, living like they are in Bible times. So the link is pinned if you want to hit the link and have a conversation about this, because I'm not saying that I'm well versed on this. Good morning. What time is the Wreath Challenge? It's on November 12th. That's a Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Um, that would be, I think you would be 2 p.m. Uh, on the Midwest, and uh, on the Eastern Standard Time, it would be 3 p.m. Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you go to the beginning of this video, I gave you some helpful hints how to prepare and have everything ready to go for the Wreath Challenge. So you may want to rewind this video back. I put it at the very beginning of the video so you can know what to do. Maybe I didn't pin the link. Let me see. Okay. So if anybody want to come up and discuss this and tell me something that I may be off on, because I need to dig into this, and I'm definitely going to come back to this conversation because it's a lot about this that I really want to talk about. Okay. Let me pin the link. Okay. The link is pinned. So if anybody want to come up and talk about it, okay, 61% of you have only hit the like button, and there's 38% of you who have not hit the like button. So if you can put, if you guys have the nerves to answer the poll, oh, you said no, you're doing it now. Okay, I take that back. I take that back. So, if anybody would like to come up and join the conversation or tell me something I don't know about the situation or how you may feel differently about this situation, please hit the link. Okay, let me see what you're saying. Okay, Ronnie, good morning. What time is the Reach Challenge? Okay, it's I don't, I don't know if I'll be home on time. Well, I hope you be home on time. Did you see my link that I posted under your video for that comb to get the undercoat out of your dog? They sell it on Amazon. So I left the link under your comment section of your last two videos. The world is falling apart right before our eyes. And like my mom, if my mom was still here, well, the Bible said these are the last days. Wars and rumors of war. These if she was to see these kids now, she would really be. You're not interrupting, not at all. That's what this whole live was about. But I definitely wanted to talk some current events because it's a lot going on, and it seems like it's only money for wars. It's only money for wars. They're talking about having a federal, not a federal minimum wage, because the federal minimum wage is like $7 and something. So many states have ways to pass it, but they're talking about bringing a like flat rate flat rate wage to the people now. There was a CEO in Australia who said that there's too many jobs out here. He'd like to see the unemployment rate go down to 40 or 50%. The unemployment rate go down to 40 to 50% because workers have too much power. And if you ain't got no job, you basically is what he's saying. I'm paraphrasing. So if unemployment is at 50% or 40%, you're gonna take whatever job that you can find, and you're gonna work however long and however unsafe conditions or however, because you had too much power. You got too much power to work a 40-hour work week. You got too much power because he's not getting enough money. And it's just like greed has really overtaken this world. The Israel we know was created by the West in 1948. Okay, Let me see what it's Michael saying. If Israel was created in Europe like the Western powers did in 1948, the Europeans would be acting like the Palestinians are today. I understand now. Thank you. Let me see what else she had to say. The problem is that Israel, okay, was created in 48 from land belonging to the Palestinian. That's my point. That's my point. But then, okay, go ahead. Look at me. Go ahead. Why didn't the Western powers create Israel in Europe? Think because Europeans wouldn't like it either. So it was created for them to have a place, but now they took the land from Palestinian and now they want to take all the land. What are they going to do? Push the Palestinian not into the sea, I think into extinction, because I know what I feel that this is going to be really really bad, and I think that this is going to be a really really bad war, because if Palestinians throw rocks, I mean it has been Israel's Israeli soldiers who have killed up a whole lot of kids and teenagers for throwing rocks over at the over across their border. I mean, so the fact that they actually have used bombs and actually bombed Europe. I mean Israel. I think that this is going to be really really bad for the Palestinians, and I think it's going to be, in my opinion, it may get as bad as tantamount to genocide. That's what I'm thinking. So, does anybody else think that way? You know who is going to suffer in the middle of everything? Africans. Wait and see. Okay, that's fine. Thank you, Carrie. That's fine. You're in a meeting. I don't know when the last time the news gave true exactly. So you have to really search out the news, because the news is bought and paid for, bought and paid for. And they show you all the dramatic stuff, and they never tell you the truth. They never address serious questions that uh, people have. So I have not been into church since I was old enough to not go to church. Um, Russia and Ukraine war is getting heavy to Africans. The Russia Ukraine war has always been heavy to Africans, because they were, when they were letting the Ukrainians out, they were that the Africans, they were held up. They wouldn't even let them out. The buses were filled with Ukrainians, and like the Africans who were over there studying and working and all that type of stuff, they had a hard time getting out of Ukraine. It's like, you ain't getting out of here. You ain't taking up no good seat. Yeah, so let me see what else you guys are saying. Israel is really a failed state, yep, and it's bolstered by Western powers. Israel creates nothing. Please do some research. We send Israel billions, and other European countries do also. Yeah, that's what I said. I said those two things, that I'm going to have to research the topic further, and then also that how the Western United States sends them billions every year, and why is it? What, like, look, wouldn't that money be better spent on fixing the problems that we have in our own country? I don't understand it. Somebody have to explain it, other than we support Israel at all times, which Biden said. Well, exactly why. When you have American citizens sleeping under bridges, and then you are bringing immigrants in here and putting them up in hotels, and closing down American children's gymnasium so you can house immigrants and stuff. A whole lot of backward stuff is going on here in America, while Americans are sleeping in their cars and all this type of stuff. And like, what the hell is going on? Like, you know, so I don't believe we should always back Israel. That's my position too. China invaded Africa, buying land in Africa, buying African leaders. But exactly, and they're building so much infrastructure over there. They're stealing so many of their natural resources and selling them off, and they're creating neighborhoods in China where black people are not even allowed to live. They can only go there and work, and they are not allowed to buy property in these Chinese neighborhoods. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Why is Africa? And it just makes me. It really angers me that Africa is the most rich, mineral rich and nation. And why do they always sell Africa out to these other nations? So that one person can be rich. So that these kings and their peons can be rich at the suffering of all their people, when these people are making so much money off of the resources that come from Africa. It just really makes me sick, all the way back through slavery. Like, why do they keep selling the continent out? Ugh. Okay, the U.S. is literally selling, giving away military equipment to Israel. Most of our retired, obsolete, yet useful military equipment is sent to Israel. Yeah, if it's not left over in the war zone where we fought and, blown up. But why bother to bring it back? Because they're not going to cut the Pentagon budget. They're only going to continue to increase the Pentagon budget. And it was like, I forget how the past 6 years, the Pentagon budget has been missing large amounts of money that have not been reconciled. And there's been no investigation into this. The last 6 years, I do believe, 6 years. I forget how much money it was. I'm gonna have to do a story that just sparked my memory of it being a story. And when they audit the Pentagon, their money never match up. Like a whole lot, I don't want to say billions, but I think it may be billions of money is unaccounted for in the Pentagon. But every year they always increase their budget without no questions asked. You got to think about that. But not surprised, does any European-based nation support Brown? No. Okay. Also, during the Iraq War, when the Iraq War first started, hey, Truth and Reason, hey, State of Being, when the Iraq War first started, let me tell you, you would not believe how much cash that was sent over to Iraq. I'm talking about when Bush 2, George W. When they got Saddam Hussein, they didn't even put it in containers. It wasn't even in containers. It was on straight pallets of money piled up. If you stood on the pallet, it would come to, I'm 5'7", it would come to your shoulder. Straight money was sent over there. Just like that. They didn't even bother to put it in a container. They wrapped it up, put it on those LD5 pallets, put it in the belly of an airplane. Money. You understand me? But they always have that type of money to send everywhere else. But it's something else. Africans are selling themselves out. Yes, exactly. Their own, doing harm in modern times. It all ain't that's what I'm saying. That's exactly. I said they have been doing this throughout slavery, and they have so much they can capitalize. They have so much leverage in the riches that they have, the diamonds, the cobalt. The cobalt, that's another big thing. I did a story about the cobalt, how they're getting over on them on the cobalt, the diamonds, the uranium, all these ruby mines. Like what is his name over Tesla? What is the guy name over Tesla? Elon Musk? Yes, Elon Musk. His father allegedly got rich over in Africa off of some, I think it was ruby or emeralds mines and stuff. And but he was never able to really show where he actually owned these mines over in Africa. He's African. So he has never been able to show that he owned these mines in Africa, but he says that some guy sold him the mines. So Elon Musk got his generational wealth through his father robbing mines. So he just went in and robbed these mines and acted as if he bought it off a ad in the newspaper from some guy, and he can't produce the paperwork, and he's like one of the richest men in America, in the world. Like it's just crazy. It's mind boggling. Okay. The war against Saddam Hussein was robbery. The country and the American government, to speak to anyone who grew up during Saddam time, they would tell you life was better than it is now, I believe is what you're saying. Straight up thieves. Exactly. Okay. Keisha. Good morning, Keisha. Elon Musk is a disgrace to humanity. Yes, and Elon Musk and these cell phone companies are benefiting, and they have all these children working in these cobalt mines to get the for these cell phone batteries. I'm having a mind fart. Uh, they go and they having women with their newborns, with their young kids strapped to their back, digging with sticks in their hands, and then their Elon Musk representatives, oh no, we're getting our cobalt from official mines, we're not using these other mines. And the other mines that they have with human beings digging in holes, they had a clip of a hole that collapsed, and they were furiously digging for these people out of the hole, and they come hopping out of the hole that the mine had collapsed on, and they're getting like $4 and $3 a day, and they're using this to power these electric cars, the batteries for cell phones. Yeah, it's like a mess. It's really a mess. You have they get sick, they have no protection, they get sick, they die off, and then their children, you have little young kids, toddlers, all turned dirty digging for cobalt, which it's also has poisonous residue. It's just like crazy. It's they're breathing this into their lungs. Babies, kids out there with sticks digging for cobalt. And you know how big some of the mines are? Some of the mines are the footprint of London, England. That's how big the mines are. One mine is a footprint of London, England. Child, it's a mess. Okay, Elon Musk is a very quiet secret that his family are billionaires off of slave labor. Elon Musk is like King Leopold. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Lithium. Yes, lithium. Thank you, Fabian Ford. Lithium. They have to dig for cobalt to get the lithium to power the batteries. Yes. And they have these kids out there, people dying out there every day, women out there working who have lost their parents, have been working out there since they've been girls, have been assaulted, physically assaulted in a you know that manner, have caught AIDS and are still out there digging in these mines. Just a horrible existence for these people, and everybody is getting rich off of it except for the people's land who it belongs to. Yeah, it's a mess. Okay, well, it's not like that Ukraine money will even go back to the communities of role. It'll go straight to the government pocket, like police funding to make things better. Yeah, exactly, exactly. They're slowly flushing the European and Chinese out of Africa. I hope it's not too little, too late. I did read one story, well, it was a while ago, because when COVID happened and the Chinese was going into black apartments, and they was just yanking these people, these Africans, out of their apartments onto the streets. They couldn't get nothing but what they could carry, and they were throwing them out because they didn't want them there, because they were trying to pinpoint that COVID must have come from them, and they didn't want them in their buildings and all this type of stuff, and that angered a lot of African leaders. So I did hear that a lot of African leaders, and I actually saw where they had police cars asking, and there's a big thing where a lot of these Chinese people are over in Africa with fake paperwork too. So they had started a big push, and they were just stopping these cars with these Chinese in them, demanding their paperwork and stuff. So yeah, I definitely heard about that too. And also there was a big African this guy who signed the African leader, I forget what country, but he signed a agreement with the Chinese for to help let them dig in their mines there, and they said that they would bring a police force there, this, that, and the other. But then, buried in the contract, they said that they all the fabric that they use to buy their police uniform must be bought from Chinese manufacturers, and that pissed that dude off. And he was like, "Are they crazy? And we have people making fabric here, and you why would we go to Chinese to buy our fabric when we make fabric that Chinese should be buying from us?" And that he totally squashed the deal behind that idiotic demand. They want to take all your riches, and then they want to make you make you have your people buy from them. So yeah, it's a lot going on about that. I'm gonna have to do my homework, and we're gonna have to come back, and we're gonna have to talk about this. And nobody want to hit the link. Okay. All I know is the U.S. government can find money to send to Ukraine, and now they're pledging billions of dollars to help fight Hamas, but can't find one red cent for us in reparations. Shoot, reparations. Shit. Yeah, exactly. They can fight everybody else, but pay us for what they did to us. Hey Nova, how you doing? Thank you, 300. The Asians are over there as well, building businesses and giving the African people shiny things and trinkets, and building neighborhoods there where the African people cannot go and live at all. They can go there and work as servants and be in servitude, but they cannot live in these communities that they're building up. There is yeah, it's crazy. Okay, let me see. Too much anti-blackness has been exposed by the Chinese in Africa. The smart ones are not doing business with China and making better demands for future trade. Yeah, exactly. I was like so glad that I was so glad that I wish I may have talked about it in one of my earlier lives, but I'm gonna have to go back because I really want to re-examine this. I'm so proud of Niger kicking the French out and run your own country. Exactly. Amen to that. African are the wealth and the engine of the world, but they have allowed themselves to fall for greed instead of bettering themselves first. Well, yet their leaders have allowed themselves, because the people are not getting anything out. This is in the Congo where they're doing these cobalt mines, where the people are like making $1 or something a day, and they're physically climbing in hand dug holes. And then what happens is these big companies say that they're not using that from those illegal mines. They're getting their mines from the real mines that has equipment and this, that, and the other. But what they're not telling you is those big trucks then drive over to these illegal mines, and what these people have dug out of these mines with their hands and with their children's fingers is loaded onto these trucks and driven into those legal mines, and as if it was dug in these legal mines. So that's what they're not telling the people. So they have legal mines that will go and do a run by the mines, and then take it back in and make it seems like it didn't come from where it came from. So it's just like a dirty game that they're playing in the wide open. So yeah, it's a big mess. The leadership is corrupt. Exactly. There is a okay, wait a minute. China been doing South African apartheid in Africa. The government once again chose paper money over the people who they serve. Exactly. Okay. When they say we need reparations, one of the first things they'll say is, where will we get the money? Where the same place you get the money to fight wars and uphold other nations of non-black people. That's where you get the money from. That's where you get the money from. Okay. Hey, Truth and Reason. Also, a Christian perspective is the U.S. supporting Israel, and the thinking is from Christianity. It's a fight with Islam. Abraham pointed to Israeli Christianity with the promise of a savior. Yeah, that I spoke on that. I said that. Yeah, that. My mom was one of the ones because of her religion. She used to say, we have to always support Israel. We have to always support Israel. But at what point does your Christianity kick in to see that it's like, why are people who are fighting to keep the little swath of land that they're left with, that you're pushing them tighter and tighter and tighter amongst each other? And while you continue to take the land, more land, and when you were the one who were given land to live because you were out in the wilderness, you didn't have a land of your own. But now the partial of land you were given, you keep on invading and pushing in on the people who this land that was given to you came from. At what point do your Christianity kick in and say, wait a minute, something's not right here? So there's that. Okay. I keep on having a mind fart. Okay. Agenda. Agenda 300. Wars bring money to the wealthy, reparations do not. And if we have a whole Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, why do we have so many contractors who work on these when we go into war? It is the armed services who go in for the war, but then they send in these contractors. And why are so many veterans and people who are injured who come back from the war? Why are they not doing financially well as people who work for these contractors who follow behind them once they invade or go to war in these different nature? Why do we need contractors when we have our armed services? Why are we paying contractors for things we should be paying our servicemen to do? Is my point. And if you're saying that our servicemen can't do it, well, why aren't we recruiting people who can do it? Why aren't these things that we need once we go through all the bombing and people get their legs blown off and all this type of stuff? What are the contractors doing that you don't have a position in our own armed forces to do, while we paying Blackwater and all these companies all this money, making them billionaires to do something, and they have to be guarded by our military, and then they have their own military former military security and stuff. But if their security back down, who they secured by? Our military. It's crazy. But then you got veterans who are living on the streets. You have veterans who can't get into VA hospitals. Who have been in these wars. But you got these fat cats living high on the hog. The dude from Blackwater, Nancy DeVos, who was the Department of Education secretary under Trump. The dude over Blackwater who was getting all those contracts, that is her brother. That's her brother. And she got a high position in government. He's making money hand over fist. Either her brother or brother-in-law. I think it's her brother, but it might be brother-in-law. Don't quote me. It's one or the other. So now she wants to and she's the head of the Department of Education, and she's against the Department of Education. All her stances prior to getting the job was that she was against the Department of Education. And your kids are going to public schools. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy. They are the original Jews. Nowhere in history of mankind can you find another group of people who suffered for 400 years other than that. We are the original Jews. Thank you. Israel is illegal occupation before World War II. Christians, Samaritans, and Jews Jews and Muslims live in peace amongst each other. Okay, so yeah, it's a whole big record. So far, all of the religious people who say we need to stick by Israel because the Bible says so, they don't know that they are not the original Jews. Hmm. Good point. It's all about oil, and the Gaza has the richest amount of oil in the entire world. There we go. Yeah, it's a whole big mess. Racism and greed have American on life support right now. I agree. Palms agrees. Palms a whole big racket. Yep. Yeah. The original Jews were black. It wasn't. Wait a minute. One of Abraham's son, the son who went over to uh, what is it? Lot, not Lot, Cain and Abel. But one of them killed one of the other ones. Look, I know something about the Bible, but it's been so long. But there was another brother who went off into and made his home in the lands which are basically the Muslim land, and he was like black. I think that was the son that he had with the lady because his wife was too old to have another baby, and he took in Sarah was too old to have another baby, and he had the baby by Sarah's handmaid or something like that, and then that baby went off in that the land which is now Muslim land was his land. Am I right? Am I right? I think I'm right. I think I'm right. I really think I'm right. Cain killed Abel, yes. And then Sarah couldn't have no more kids. He was married to Sarah, right? The old Sarah, right? Yes, Sarah. And then she couldn't have no more kids. And then Abraham had a baby with a side piece. And Sarah was okay with that. And then he went over to the Muslim part, and Cain took over, I guess, which would be like the European part, or I don't know how to put it. But the side piece baby was black. So and he went over to the Muslim nation. Am I right? Somebody tell me if I'm right or wrong. The U.S. border has a huge problem with your national security and the borders. Child trafficking has gone up 100%. Fix America before messing with other countries' affairs. Exactly. I definitely agree with that. The European Jews do not acknowledge the original Jews because they consider black people as cursed people. They believe Jews were the chosen people. I've heard that as well. Sarah felt she was too old to have kids. Yes, uh-huh. Ishmael, yes, was Abraham's son with Hagar, yes, representing the Arab. Thank you. It's a little muddled in there, but it's in there. It's a little muddled in there, but it's in there. Oh my God. Abraham had Ishmael, who was the father of Islam. Thank you. You see, it was yeah. It's been so long since I thought about this type of stuff. No, you're thinking about Abraham, whose wife who couldn't have no more kids, although God told him she would, and got his maid pregnant. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's the story I'm talking about. It was Ishmael, and Ishmael went off to the Muslim countries, and that's where that lineage came from. Ishmael. Yes. And God gave her a son. Did Sarah had a son after that, right? Sarah did have a son after that. Isaac with Sarah and Abraham represents Christianity. Okay. Thank you. See, it was a little muddy, but it was I kind of like sort of remember the sorry. I'm a heathen at heart now. It's been so long since I've been to church. But thank you guys. Thank you. Israel and Palestine is like China and Hong Kong. Exactly. Exactly. Mhm. So if you guys want to hit the link and tell me explain the story a little more clearer than I may have to your understanding, you're more than welcome. The link is pinned and yeah, it's been a good conversation. So, okay, we have also the guy, the president of Ukraine. He also came out and spoke that he's with Israel all the way too. But I think you're gonna take whatever position that Americans take because you're getting so much money and help from the Americans. So, do you think that's why, or it could be a regional thing that I'm unaware of? So, in the Ukraine siding with Israel in this. Okay. Let me see. Ham and Shem were the sons of Noah, and Ham was the black. Oh, thank you. I knew it was something about one being black. Thank you, 300. Okay. And the slave owners over here used to use us, Ham, saying that we, wait a minute, you incomplete sentence. Okay. It was Sarah who drove Hagar into the desert in the Middle East. Sarah kicked Hagar out when she got pregnant with the father of the Jews. Okay, thank you. So you're saying, oh, wait a minute. Okay. So when Sarah drove Hagar out, Hagar was still pregnant, right? Yeah, she was still pregnant when she drove her out. So when you saying when she got pregnant with the father of the Jews, who is the she you're talking about? Are you talking about Sarah had gotten pregnant, so she drove Hagar out, or are you saying Hagar was pregnant with the father of the Jews? Which one? What are you saying? Oh, here come Bible study Bree. Oh, Bree was killing that Bible information. I was like, go ahead on, you heathen. but Bree, good morning, Bree. But Bree had those stories right. I was like, I'm in there googling. I was like, yeah, she right about that. It's a lot of stuff I forget. Abraham was faithful because there's no way I take my son and offer him as an offering. Thank God for the ram who saved the boy's life. It was a test of faith, and he passed. Yes, you can ask me a favor. What is it, fam? Of course, the slave owners over here used the Bible referencing Ham in the Bible that slave must obey their masters. Exactly. Yeah, that's one of the things that they use to keep the slaves in line. And like you gonna get your glory on the other side. While we sitting up watching them have all their glory off of the things that we didn't work to build and stuff. Hey Bree, we were talking about the story of Abraham, and we were trying to we were actually talking about the Palestinian war, and we were trying, and it kind of went back to who the Israelites, the Israelis, they uh they were awarded land in the Palestinian region in 1942. So we were trying to trace that back through Abraham, and I was yeah. So that's what we were talking about, and we were talking about Hagar who had the kid. So okay, let me see. The slave owners over here used. Okay, I got that. Okay. Sarah was pregnant with the father of the Jews. Sarah was securing her place as number one wife, heir to the deity. I think you mean to destiny. I think you mean deity. I don't know. Okay, so Sarah was the one. Oh, so Sarah got pregnant and she ran Hagar off. Okay, so what did Hagar's son do? So Hagar's son, he was the Muslim one, right? Am I right? He when since she got run off, her son grew up to flourish in the Muslim part of the world. Am I right? Black Swan or anybody? Hagar's son, he was Muslim, right? Can you play, if you can, a clip called "Is China the Threat to the LBC Interview at..." It's a 5-minute clip. Can you play, if you can, a clip? It's called "China a Threat LBC." Let me see if I can find it. I found it. Okay, let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. I found it. So let me put on my disclaimer first, my copyright disclaimer. I'm playing this as part of educational. I'm playing this under the copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. The copyright disclaimer under Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, commenting, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. So I think spam is teaching me something. So I want to play this little short clip, and I'm gonna stop it so I won't get a strike or anything. But I'm gonna stop it as we go. So let's check this out right quick.
To recognize that China, what we need to do is to recognize that China is the largest threat, both to the world and to the United Kingdom, for freedom and democracy. And does he not agree that the government should designate it as such?
I suspect the so-called espionage hunt is a witch hunt, and I hope it will be proven to be so in due course.
It's certainly providing a lot of quite hot rhetoric inside the British Parliament. The former Prime Minister Liz Truss, we talked about her with you before. She says there are extremely worrying reports about the level of infiltration of Chinese-supported forces into our democracy, and they ask that the government regards China as the largest threat facing Britain. How would you respond?
Well, first of all, I really have no respect for Liz Truss. I thought her mini trust is the real blow to the British integrity and fiscal responsibility. So if anyone really gives heed to what Liz Truss says...
Of course, she's saying that you're a threat to you want to just spread and take, and of course you would have problems with her because she's speaking up about the facts. Okay, let's go ahead.
He or she may fall victim to her disaster and catastrophe to the fundamental interests of the British people. Now, for any major country, including China and Britain, they practice espionage about each other or against each other. That's in the normal course of their business. But for anyone to really suspect that China, to the best of my knowledge, will have any interest or any time and resources spent to look into the proceedings in the UK Parliament, I think personally that's a huge misjudgment.
Boy, what are we okay? We're to believe that China, it has no interest in what's going on in any government. Okay. That's okay. That's why we have spies all over the world trying to catch all this espionage going on. So we are to believe that okay, I just need to just stop it because this is such BS. But I need to stop. Give a break. Here we go.
Because I truly believe, and I spend so much time watching the proceedings of the Parliament in public TV, you can get most of it, if not all, in the public. And I watch.
Okay, so he trying to make believe like if you just watch parliament, a session of parliament that is shown on the TV, you can get all the information that you need. Do you think that there is not things that are like, are you serious? Do you think that they are sitting up there putting their nuclear codes in parliament? You think they're sitting up there putting their state secrets, talking about them in parliament? Is that what he's trying to tell me, child?
The Liz Truss many times, spending many hours following her remarks, leading to the disaster, which caused my complete loss in confidence about Liz Truss as a person, as a politician.
Can I ask you a wider question, Mr. Gao, which is, there's a lot of people in the UK who are concerned about China simply being too powerful in Britain. And in a sense, that's because we no longer make so many of the things that you make and you export to us, whether it's our phones or our televisions or parts of our telecommunication system or so much else, perhaps in due course our cars as well. Does the power of the Chinese economy inside Britain not also bring with it some kind of whip hand power over British politics eventually?
Oh, okay. So I got to do a little pause here. Okay, so not to mention Temu. So China has like a grip hold on everything. Everything is imported from China. We like hardly anything is made in America. Obviously, the same problem is happening over there in Britain as well. China is making money hand over fist off of importing things from China.
Thank you very much for asking this very important question. There are several things allow me to emphasize. One is that it is a fact. It is a hard fact that China is the largest trading partner with more than 130 nations in the world. It's not just with Britain, it's with
130 trading partners in the world. He said it's a fact. Okay,
130 other nations, big or small. And you need to live with that fact. You cannot just fight against that megatrend.
You need to live with that fact. You cannot fight against it. Yeah, you can fight against it. He said you just must live with that fact. Now, this is some arrogance right here. I'm stopping it so I don't get struck. But okay, here we go.
Small, and you need to live with that fact. You cannot just fight against that megatrend in the world. Secondly, yes, China produces many things, exports many things, but about 1/3 of the products out of China are made by American invested companies in China. Another 1/3 about European companies or Japanese companies or South Korean companies or China's Taiwan.
So that what he's saying is like when America America CEOs take their companies and move them over to China so they can pay their workers pennies to make these things, like Nike and other company, the Gap, all these companies that take their stuff over there so they can sell it to Americans cheaper, no, so they can get more profit, so they can support greed, so they can see who has the biggest yacht, so they can make gross amount of personal wealth while the American companies are shuttered and people have no jobs. Okay, I'm gonna go back a hair because I don't want you guys to forget what he's saying.
Or South Korean companies or China's Taiwanese companies made these products in China and exported them abroad. Only about 1/3 of the products, roughly, more or less, are made by domestic Chinese companies. So if you are worried about these exports from China to Britain, you're worried about 1/3 produced by American companies, another 1/3 produced by other developed countries, etc. So I don't think you need to be agitated about that.
I don't think you need to be agitated about that. But he don't tell you that 1/3 of things that you're buying that are made in China out of the, what do you say, 136 countries? But he's not telling you that, see, that means that you don't have no jobs. That takes the money out of your pocket. I don't think you need to be worried about that. Well, why wouldn't we be worried about that? Okay, I'm gonna go back a hair. I'm stopping it because I must give commentary.
So I don't think you need to be agitated about that. It's a real fact.
Can I end with a very straightforward question? There's a big debate in Britain about what language we use about China. Are you a competitor? Are you an ally? Are you a threat? How would you regard your relationship with Britain?
First of all, between China and Britain, from the Chinese perspective, Britain is not a rival, it's not a competitor, it is not an...
It can't be a competitor because it cannot compete because they pay more than what these pennies that you are paying these Chinese workers that you have to put nets around the factory windows to stop them from jumping to their untimely unalivedness. So no, we're not competitors. Okay.
An enemy is not an adversary. Britain is just an important country to get along with in peace and in friendship and for mutual benefit. Now, how Britain looks at China, it's up to
the mutual benefits. Okay, so he's talking about we just need to get along with each other for mutual benefits. Okay, so he's talking about the governments having mutual benefits. He's not talking about the people of China and the people of Britain and of all these other countries who are suffering because they have no jobs, no outlook on jobs, no aspects of jobs, all this type of stuff. Everybody's not going to be a college graduate. Everybody's not made for college. The greatest rise of the middle class came through what do they call it when after the war effort in the 50s when they were building things were made in America and people were able to get themselves up out of poverty. But now that nothing is made in America, you have nothing. You look at America and America looks like a garbage dump, okay, of poverty.
To the British government and people to decide. But I think it would be completely misguided for Britain to view China as an enemy or adversary or a competitor. What do China and Britain compete with? China is the largest manufacturer of automobiles. Competing with Britain? No. China is the largest exporter of EV cars and will lead the whole world in EV production. Is Britain a...
Okay. It sounds like he's flossing. Sound like he flossing. What can they compete with? He letting you know y'all can't even compete with us. Okay.
Competitor? No. China will be the biggest and most important producer and R&D in terms of semiconductor in no time. Does that mean that China competes with Britain? No. China will be the leading nation in AI revolution. Is Britain a competitor? No. So I think British government should not overestimate its impact on the global scene and view Britain as a rival of China. China is not. China.
He said, you better shut the fuck up. You better not even think you're going to be a rival against us because we leading you in any and everything. So you better just sit back and be happy with it. That's what he just said. That's what he just said. That's what he just told that dude. You ain't competing with us. I don't even know what made you come out of your mouth with that crazy
on the
question.
Global scene and view Britain as a rival of China. China is not. China is a fact. China is a megatrend for Britain to live with and get along with. Let's make peace rather than agitating for war.
Let's make peace. Okay. Know your place is what he told that dude. Know your place. You ain't competing with us. You can't compete with us. You better sit down and know your place. He flexing. Exactly. Oh my God. Thank you, Spam, for that. This Chinaman is literally telling this reporter, you need China and the Chinese can't sustain themselves without the West. That's exactly what he's saying. Oh, he flossing hard. Yes, he was. Like, compete with us. We are the number one in this, and we will be the number one in AI. And you know, AI is the thing that is coming to take more jobs. They have some 18-wheeler trucks that are already on the road in the United States using AI technology. 18-wheeler trucks driving on the roads with you. They said the next big swath of jobs AI is expected to take over is human resources and payroll departments in companies. Okay, so they have grocery stores that can stock the shelves automatically through AI technology, and they're trying to implement that on a larger scale. So, okay, let me see what else you guys are saying. Thank you for that. That is, I mean, and they know, and they are confident. They are confident in that. And folks now mad because China is kicking their ass. Okay, I hope Big Mouth Trump doesn't win the presidency because he would surely go to war with China. And then here comes Russia. Yeah, Russia's his friend. He thinks Russia is his friend. I think what he's saying is, I don't blame China. The blame falls on the American and the British government for outsourcing jobs to China. I don't think he's saying he don't blame China. I think he's saying we are China, and this is what we're doing, and this is who we are. It seemed like he was flossing to me. When I tell you the Chinese got the white man together, yes, he got him together. Yes, he was like, you better recognize that he stuck and you better just sit down and just get along. I think you better know where your place is, because this is who we are. Hey, Liz, how you doing? Hey, Ebony Diamond. Oh, child. Oh man, thank you. I'm definitely saving that. Okay. Yeah, he flexing. Please, thank you for telling me about that. So let me see what else she said. Y'all remember when BlackBerry was the popular cell phones? Now that stolen technology is what the Chinese used in their technology. Yes, I do remember that. That was like the new cutting edge technology, and then all of a sudden it went kaput. He's not lying, though. He is not lying, though. AI already in effect. Yes, it is. Okay, the Japanese, there in Japan, there are restaurants that are completely run by robots. There are convenience stores in, I think it's Copenhagen, convenience stores that are completely self-serve, AI checkout, and all that too. So nowadays, what is the use of getting college degrees? I'm telling you, because a plumber or electrician will be the next person that is making six figures, and they already are in many cases. And the plumbers are being grandfathered out because they don't have enough new plumbers coming along behind them, and that is a job that AI cannot successfully do. So they are telling people that they need people to go into these trades, because that is a trade that they're not going to be able to fashion AI to do in any time soon, and they're not looking to do it. I guess if they looked hard enough they could, but they're encouraging people to go into plumbing and electricity to you know to have a decent living. That is exactly what they're telling people. Okay, now here comes the kick, Ronnie Hugh, when he said we are going to be the number one of EV cars. Guess that continent? Yeah, the Africans. That's why they are over there digging those cobalt mines for the lithium to go in those car batteries. And they're over there in Africa with their mines, with the regular mines, and then they got the African people over there. That's why they're digging for cobalt for these cars. I ain't got to guess. I already know. Okay. Hey, Miss LA. Hey, where me? Good to see you. Okay. I miss. Okay, I missed one question. The Chinese government is everywhere. In Canada, we have a problem. Chinese Canadians and their loyalty to this country. So they're not loyal to Canada. They're loyal to China. That's what you're saying. Sounds like. Okay. Okay, spam. So was I right about is that the answer? The cars? Okay, let me see what you're saying. Spam, I gave the answer. I want to know if I'm right. Is that what you were saying? Yes, I do remember that. I do remember that. Misplaced. It was, I can't remember the price. I think it was close to $1 billion, if not $1 billion. Yes, that's what the answer was. Yeah, because when I did the report on the cobalt mines, that was the whole reasoning for them digging the mines, because they were going to be help power the batteries for electric cars and cell phones and computers. So electric cars are on the rise, and that is like the biggest thing. So I don't understand why people. Uh, it's just, yeah. And in many ways, people don't have a choice in their cars being electric. Only job that would matter is IT. Okay. So yeah, we had a good conversation, but African leaders think that the Chinese are doing the God's work in Africa. They think, are they coming to Africa talking about, oh, we'll build you a road, we'll build you a school, and yes, for pennies, nothing. They're getting very little out of the deal. Yes. Let me see what you're saying. Okay. So computer programmers, something to maintain AI. That you're absolutely right. That's why, yeah, that is okay. Good morning, everyone. What's going on with MU and Erica? Not a goddamn gone thing. Nothing. It was a hype to get memberships. Many jobs will be lost. Exactly, Maverick. Internationally, it is well documented that you can't trust the Chinese because they are operatives doing the bid for China. They're trying to force us with the gas prices. Oh, they're trying, and they does, yeah, like, well, yeah, I get it, My husband came home. He's like, God dang, what the heck? Why are these gas prices so high? So then they can be like, oh, you can ride around in this electric car for little money and no glass and da 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 da. Let me remove this. What's this shit? Fuck out of here. Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. So, is there anybody else who want to contribute to? You're more than welcome to hit the link. But Kwani, I talked about that Erica Kelly girl earlier in the. She's just trying. It just seemed like she was trying to get a rush for membership, pretending like she had some information. But then after she ran over her live, she was on a whole nother live when she had people waiting on the live that she was announcing, and then she put it on members only as with that clickbait title, and then put it on members only. And then I guess she was waiting and waiting and waiting to see how many members she was going to get to join her membership on that clickbait title. And then suddenly the whole live disappeared. So that's the gist of that whole situation. Okay, the African leader who take Chinese money are only enriching themselves, not the country. Exactly. For instance, okay, there's a case now. I forget. Oh man, I forget where he's from, but he's from an African country. Now, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. One of the lady is married to a realtor, and he has the biggest real estate agency all across the world, not just in the United States. Mauricio has expanded his agency all across the world, and I was surprised that he did that quick. They said he's worth over $300 million now. Now, he used to be a realtor for his brother-in-law, who is Kathy Hilton's husband, an heir from the Hilton hotels, who does real estate. And then he left that company, and they had a big thing that he stole some of the agents and clients when he left the company. So he built his own real estate agency, and I think it's called The Agency. And they have given them a Netflix series and all this. So there was a show where they did a party at this mansion that was huge in Beverly Hills, and the mansion was for sale. And it's controversy about this mansion because he was the realtor for the mansion, and he said that he could not sell the mansion. So him and a partner was going to go together and buy the mansion for something like 38 or 39 million dollars. But in fact, he had gotten a bid from an African dude. I think he offered him $36 million for it, and he turned down the offer so that he could buy it himself. And now he's being deposed for this business deal that he did with this house. Now let's talk about this African guy who was about to buy this $39 million house. He was going to buy the house cash. And this is one of these African leaders who people are poor and impoverished, and they live these lavish lifestyles. It has been rumored that he is one of the guys who bought Portia from Real Housewives of Atlanta, her Rolls Royce, and possibly Kenya. And this man is like wiping his butt with money like it is unimportant, doesn't mean a thing. And the country, I forget. I don't want to say Ghana, but I think it's Ghana. They are so poor, and he is expected to be next in line to rule the country because his father is ill and sick and old, and this is who's next in line, and he's already spending money on women and mansions in the United States while his people are living in abject poverty. So it's not going to get any better, it seems. That's my point. Okay. It hasn't gone away because it is back in full throttle. He's being deposed and everything about this business deal, because the thing about that deal is with him selling the house, buying the house himself, he cheated the African nation was going to get so much money of that in taxes. So with him doing that, they got him for defrauding them for money. I think it's Ghana. Okay, say for instance, if it is Ghana, they got him on the hook for defrauding that government. So he's in trouble. He's in trouble because some of that money was to go to the government in that purchase. He's in trouble. Supposedly so rich. These fake celebrities that are supposed to be so rich. So yeah, there's that. Muhammad Hadid. What are you saying about Muhammad Hadid? No, I'm not talking about Muhammad Hadid. I was talking about Kyle Richards' husband, Mauricio. Yeah, not Hadid. I understand that he was in trouble as well because he was also faking exactly how rich he was. Gigi Hadid and Bella Hadid's father was married, and what's her name? The wife, his wife. Yeah, I heard that he's in some scandal too about perpetrating a fraud about his riches. Yes, it was clickbait, Kwani. Good morning, Doreen's truly blessed. Well, let me see what else you guys have to say about that. Yeah, so it's like it's not a lot, coming. It's not a lot to look forward to, and I don't know. I just don't know. I remember that Mauricio House, the scandal that went. Okay, so that's all I have. Okay, yeah, that's really all I have. Okay, I mean the media and gossip sites are not reporting Mauricio. They have been paid. Yes, okay, yes, like Sam Bankman that protected him until the bubble finally blow up. You mean like that dude who at the Inquirer who was Trump's fixer, they can kill a story. They'll pay off the people with information about the story as if they're going to print the story only to kill the story. Yeah, so a lot of that is going on. Okay. Made me think about Dr. Umar. We donated for him to start all black school 5 years later. We still waiting. Okay. Google says he's Nigerian and he owns the largest petroleum company supplying refined fuels. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that truth and reason. Yes, but that's what I'm talking about. And he's a dark-skinned guy. And he wears these tight suits and he has his hair relaxed with a part in the side, combed over like a white hairstyle. And I am like, oh my God, what is wrong with this dude? A whole straight hair relaxer with a part in the side with his hair combed over in a Dick Van Dyke style hairstyle. I'm like, oh my God, this ain't nothing good coming for that nation with this dude at the seat of the table. So yeah, thank you. I thank you all for participating with me because I did want to talk about some things. I'm sorry I wasn't well versed enough to talk about these things, but you guys sure helped me through, and I definitely appreciate you for all that you contributed to me, taught me, and shared with the panel. So if you guys have missed any part of this live, please redball it. It's been quite interesting, and I really appreciate you guys. Yeah, I like this type of conversation. So if you had not hit the like on your way in, can you please hit the like button on your way out? And don't forget, the beginning of this video is the rules and things that we're doing for the Christmas wreath contest, which is Sunday, November 12th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And if you would like to donate to the prize pot, our prize pot has grown from $50. It is now at $140. You can cash at me at $ Ronnie Q and put in the if you put in the description box prize pot, and that money will go to increase the prize pot. We have one grand prize winner as of right now, and we're trying to get a second and a third place winner. So I thank you guys for coming out. We have 10 contestants. We're going to have a drinking game, and we plan to have fun on this competition. So exactly, Black Swan. So I hope you guys come out with and participate. We have great judges. We have this very good judge that View as a View put me on to. She has a thriving DIY channel of Designs with V is competing. She does a whole lot of DIY things, and she has a whole lot of great ideas that always are executed fabulously. So I hope you guys come out and join us, and we're going to have a little drinking game. You can take a little sip of wine or whatever libations that you have during our drinking game, and we plan on having fun. Hey, Coolin, how are you? Yeah, you can red ball it back. It's great. Thanks to you guys, Cool Storm. I really, really appreciate you guys in this conversation. All right, so I'm gonna get out of here. Kwani, good to see you, and I hope you guys have a great week. And those of you who are off today, enjoy your day off, and hope your short work week ahead is going to be blessed one. Thank you for being here. God bless you, and I'll see you guys around. Bye-bye.